Okay, so it's my first video, so bear with me. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I just know that there was an issue. I couldn't find out what everybody else was looking for. And so what we've got here is a Dodge Charger. It's a 2017 Pursuit package. I am converting it to a civilian model. I guess in a way it's got Daytona seats in it. I've been in the process of wiring those up, as well as now I have a center console. So the issue that you run into is none of the harnesses plug in from the civilian model console to the Pursuit model harnesses. So the police package comes with a bunch of auxiliary cords and connectors that basically run wigwags, flashing lights, sends signals out all over the place, all over the car. But what it does have is some power sources and some pass-through wires, some things that we're going to be able to utilize to build a harness. So if you can see right here, this is going to be one of the main harnesses that we pull from, okay? And it actually has all our auxiliary tied into it already. And then this right here may be a power source for us as well. But I'll bring you over here and you can kind of see what I have laid out. So I've kind of written down what I'm going to start with. And that's just from a Pursuit 10-pin connector, which is basically this right here. That should be in your car, hopefully, and it would be connected with these two 12-volt deals and then actually connect to this for your aux and so forth. So anyway, you're going to steal from that. That gives you a power source. It gives you these 4 green wires which run your aux. It's going to give you a power and a ground to actually plug into the existing one on the current console, and then we can steal the other power and ground, which is ignition, and feed this harness right here. This harness is the one that goes back to the USB aux driver on the back of the console, which obviously you want to function. So if you can take a look here, you can see that I've started to build a layout for the harness. I'm sorry that it's kind of a scrabbled together mess, but I built it off of this. This gave me the reference for the gray, all the gray wires were the aux wires and so forth, which you can kind of see right here. As well as if we swap over here, you'll see here's the police harness that we're using, that you can see has our power, aux, all our signals, as well as a ground. So I'm going to set this up, get started building the harness, cutting it all to size and length, and start soldering it up. And then we got to dive into the cup holder light and everything else as well. I'll keep you posted. All right, back to it. So we're in the process of doing this console, wiring this thing up. Factory connections from the police vehicle, the Pursuit Charger, to the civilian console. So, as we've talked about before, the auxiliary cord is what we want really to function. The power that goes back here to this driver. This is the factory 10-point plug. You have the 4 green wires that come off it. Goes to the 3 gray and the white. So we'll start wiring this stuff up, get it situated. I believe you should solder all connections, always, if you can. I also like to build the harnesses so that they plug and play. So at the end of this, if somebody takes this console out, whether it's me or somebody else, it should plug in and plug out just like any other factory one. All right, so now we should be able to go in there and plug this harness in and have power to the USB, power to the auxiliary, just by plugging this 10-point connector in, okay? Now, again, we want to go over what connector this is. And you can see here, So this is what you're looking for. This is your pinout for the inline body console center 2. So this is in your center console. This is what I'm referring to. Okay. If you don't have this connector, you can just cut that OEM connector off and follow the pinout, which is this, to find what connectors you need, and then use them to go to this, which is the factory connector at the back of your console. So that's how you tie those in. We're gonna dive into the cup holder next, after I try this all out. All right, finally. What a process. Hopefully you don't have this same issue. I could have cut it all back probably a little bit farther, cleaned it up a little bit better maybe, I don't know. Either way, looks to be good, connection's good here. So as you can see, we've used the factory 10-point connector, gone to the 8, okay? And this connector, remember, comes with the car typically, and is plugged in with this here. I kept this harness if I need it in the future. I just took this off, kept the 1 power lead to feed my 12-volt charger, and then spliced off the harness to feed the rest of it. So as you can see, I think I'm gonna go test it out, see if it fits. If it does fit and operate correctly, I'll try to post links or pictures or diagrams or anything that I can, so that this makes this installation much simpler for anybody that runs into it, so they don't have to decipher through everything like I did. Sorry, this is difficult to try to move this around and figure out what works and what doesn't here. Okay, so we've got power on that, which is great. Okay, and then we do have power on our light here for the cup holders, which is very hard to see, I guess, but it's on. I just realized I do not have an auxiliary plug for my iPhone. So I'm gonna have to track one down, but I would say that all those are going to work. Let me go see what I can find. Okay, so here we are. We got the console in. I'm running from aux right now to this, my niece's tablet, and we're playing. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up the harness, just get it cleaned up and tidied up. What I've ended up finding out is that I can get the auxiliary works fine. The USB charges the phone, but it does not send a signal from the phone to the radio. I'm unsure why. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that there's a small connector in the center of that module that one's not connected to, but this is what I've come to the conclusion of. I don't need it. I have the ability to charge the phone. I run Bluetooth anyway. The aux will work, cup holder works, the chargers work, everything. So, and the thing was plug and play. I realized something as I started to put the unit back together, that the back of this console had 2 USB ports, which were not tied in. So anyway, I did some quick pinning and checked it out. There's just 4 wires going to it. You need 3 of them. The orange wire, it runs all through here, and it's a lamp driver. I'm not sure what it does because I'm getting backlighting without it. Anyway, there's 2 pink wires, a pink and red and a pink and white. Splice those back to any ignition source. And then there's a ground. So you want to tie that into the ground. And all those are charging spots. They're just going to charge people's phones if they need to plug it in while they're in the back seat. Okay, so everything in the console should work. I got to just solder this up, and then we'll get this pinned and clipped down. And then here's that vent I was mentioning that you need if you're swapping from a patrol car.